Hello, good morning, California.
Raymond,
Good
Harlall.
afternoon, New York,
Good afternoon, California and London.
Yes,
London,
sir. Yes,
and
sir.
evening here. So, welcome to Great Nice TV. Welcome to Great Lives. Well, we discover, develop, and deliver greatness, but at the same time, and importantly, we celebrate greatness of people around the world. So this evening in London, this afternoon in New York, and this morning in California, we are pleased and amazed to have the greatest creator of greatness, Dr. Raymond Harlall. How are you?
I'm great, Professor Patrick Businge. Thank you for having me on your amazing show. And it's an honor to be here with yourself and Sir Clyde Rivers.
Exact, and I was going to ask Clyde Rivers to introduce you.
Praise God. Ladies and gentlemen, this young man right here, to me, is the epitome of the forerunner of the world being changed. This man is a entrepreneur. He has an organization called Local Expert. He's the 2020 civility icon for the country of Canada. He has a movement called I Empower Entrepreneurs. He's creating an agriculture program in Guyana where he wants to plant 1 million coconut oil trees. And he's a man with a heart to help the world. So listen, people, he is one of a kind in the world, is Raymond, Dr. Ambassador Raymond. So world, we're introducing you to the future right here.
That is amazing. Welcome, Dr. Raymond Harlall, World Civility Leader, World Civility Ambassador. So, how does it feel like being an ambassador to the world on the field of civility?
It's a great feeling, but other than feeling great and proud of myself, it's a lot of extra responsibility on my shoulder. If I am to be a world civility ambassador first, personally, I need to be civil in all of my relationships, starting from my home with my family, my friends, working outwards, and my colleague, my clients, my mentors. And so I have to practice it first. And no one's perfect. We're going to always have ups and downs, and you're going to think, should I react that way? No, wait a minute. I'm a world civility ambassador. I go into countries, I go into organizations, I go into institutions and talk to them about being civil. And so it holds me to a higher standard with myself personally, so I can serve. And the major thing about it, it gives me the ability to serve more people.
Yes, and then you do a lot of service, really. I do remember you coming to Uganda and the stories that people still remember about you. You have been to Guyana, you've transformed life there as well. So, what exactly do you do in these countries when you go in?
So when I travel on delegations, I travel with I Change Nations,
Yes.
founded by Dr. Clyde Rivers, and we go on into different area to bring a voice of civility first and foremost, and that's what Dr. Rivers does. He is the world civility spokesman globally, and to come in under umbrella of civility and to be able to add my expertise in entrepreneurship, because I've been an entrepreneur for over 10 years now. So I go in and see how I can empower youths. And like my story, I came from Guyana to Canada. I think I won the lottery ticket to come out of a developing country all the way to a developed country. Come from a 50-year-old country to a 250-year-old country. That's a 200-year of a jump I made. And so not, and for everybody to be better off, we can't bring them all. So I realized and look back and say, hey, Guyana have this. Canada and America don't have that. Hey, Guyana have this. Uh, uh, Europe don't have that. So then I go back in and inspire the youths and say, hey guys, you have something the world wants and needs. I'll show you how to position, package, and promote that so you're able to compete and bring income. And I believe income is very important. Economy is the most important aspect to keep people civil. Because if there's no food, people are gonna fight. If they have money for food, they're gonna be civil.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Patrick, let me interject here. Raymond, you only built number ones. When I first met you, I came to your event in Toronto, Canada, and I saw all the people that were the actual leaders. But when I left that place, I knew you were the leader. And there's something about your mind. You have a mind that can help cross the bridge. And every person you ever brought to work with me is a number one. And that's because you mentor them in number one. And I want to ask you a question. Coming from Guyana to Canada, how did you get your number one mindset? Because I'm saying number one because it's what you produce is
Correct.
number one. So there has to be a root that produces the fruit. So
Yes.
what has caused you to be a number one thinker in this world?
Yeah. Just trial and error, but I've been doing it for so long. And I at first, and I teach about being a civil entrepreneur, but
Mhm.
first you want to be a business entrepreneur, somebody that goes into business for money. That's what motivated me initially. I grew up in a countryside in Guyana, in a lower middle class family. My parents are pastors and teachers, community leaders, and so they almost believe in just service and not go after money. And they're great community leaders. But I'm like, hey, I want to help my whole country. And there's no way I can help my whole country doing it at such a uh, I don't know the right word to explain how my parents are doing it, but they're
Many microcosm.
there you go, Doc. And so I wanted to help my entire country, and then I met Dr. Rivers, and he said, Raymond, your country, Guyana, is 750,000 people, not even a million. How much people in the world? Almost 8 billion. That's a drop in the bucket. I believe that you can actually help Guyana and use that same method of helping Guyana, the same landscape, the same economy, the developing country, and help other nations, especially Africa. And Doc, and you're asking me how to get into this rhythm of being number one. And I've always liked to try the next thing that paid more money. I believe in working smart and not hard, but I start from the bottom. I'm not going to say I'm not doing that one. And one time I was doing a job for minimum wage, $11 an hour, and the other job was $30. But I didn't leave it right away because I was also investing in my future, in mentorship. So I was always having, and I teach that you have to have a minimum survival amount. So one thing has to pay the rent, the car insurance, the bills, and to keep you alive and survival amount. And if you're going to work on your dream, your vision to go big, don't say you can't. Get a second job and devote that income to investing in your future, and or investing and getting a higher certification. Like I got from a laborer to a forklift operator, $5 an hour more. Same thing. You go to the warehouse and work $5 more. I see the truck driver coming in, and they come park up and they go wander around and come back, and they're getting paid. I'm like, that's interesting. I want to be more free and be on the road. Another $5 raise as I got my truck license. My uncle calls me up and say, hey Raymond, why are you driving for somebody else? I have 2 trucks sitting here. I lost my license and my permission to operate trucks on the road. Let's partner. Take them, operate them, do everything and give me some of the profits after. Great. So I became a contractor that way. And I eventually realized I went all the way up to operating tractor trailer. In the world of trucking, that's it. You of course you make $1,500, $2,000 per day, but the amount of effort you put in time, in terms of risk and hours on the road, and risk to reward ratio was very high. And one night I fell asleep on the wheel, Dr. Rivers, and I was woken up by a green light on the highway. Interstate have a green light. How does that happen? I drift off the highway.
Wow.
As I was sleep driving. Most truck drivers do 2, 3, 4 in the morning, because you have to go to Amazon and deliver. If I don't go at 8 a.m. and deliver, I have to pay Amazon instead of Amazon paying me,
Oh,
because
wow.
you have to show up on time. If not, you get charged.
Mhm.
And that's when I said, you know what? That's my wake up moment. And I said, I am not going to risk my life for money anymore. And I went and invested more into my personal growth and development. Went and looked at all of the mentors, meet them, see what they were doing, see what worked for them, and I realized they were all number one. That's why they were great. And I said, you know what? I need to be number one in one area, not number 1,000 here, 100 here, 500 here. If you add them up and divide, you'll still never be number one. So it didn't made math sense, Doc. So number one is just number one.
Wow.
If you add one and divide by one, you're just gonna get one.
Mhm.
Wow. God, that's phenomenal.
That
Go ahead,
is
Patrick.
very powerful, because I think some of us, we fear to risk. And that reminds me one of the quotes from Les Brown. It says, if we cannot risk, we cannot grow. If we cannot grow, we cannot become our best. If we cannot become our best, we cannot be happy. And if you can't be happy, what else is there? So the one thing you did that has made and continue to create happiness for you is being an entrepreneur.
Yes, being an entrepreneur gives me the freedom to work when I want, from where I want, and how I want. And I don't say that because I'm lazy. I say that because I love to travel. And in my book, The Handbook to Entrepreneurship, with 20 other experts in that area. In my chapter, I wrote that entrepreneurship is equal to self-actualization.
Mhm.
Entrepreneur is such a great name. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, especially with COVID. But hey, let's be real. If you can't pay the rent, if you can't have food on your table, it's going to be tough being an entrepreneur, because entrepreneur is not one job. You are the manager, you're the accountant, you're the marketing guy.
Wow.
You have 5 hats that a company have to operate. So you're giving up one job to do 5. Yes, in the long run it will pay off, but you need sustained income also. So it's a great, I believe everybody should be an entrepreneur, and the world is going towards that level, but it takes a while to start, grow, and build a business.
Mhm.
Wow. And Raymond, you also taught me this.
Level up.
Level
Yes,
up.
the handbook to unleash your greatness.
So Patrick, you two, when you doctor, when the both of you met in England, I was like, they have no idea. It's a greatness equals greatness. And Raymond, you are. I want to get this right. Sometimes the old paradigm holds on to the baton for too long, and when they hold on for too long, they begin to lose it. What do you think keeps people that edge to keep leveling up, leveling up, leveling up? Because first of all, you're one of the most amazing minds I know. You can look at something and you have it figured out. And so keeping a level up mindset, How do you create that?
It's all about timing, Doc. And I believe that, and I have the concept, I haven't penned it yet, but I believe that the past is for you to look to, for you to use as an experiment. The past is an experiment. It's not who you are. It's just an experiment. The present is really all that matters. Because if we're not alive, if it's not now, it's never. The saying is true. The present is all that matters, and the future you should use as a navigation to eventually get out. Because in Brian Tracy's book, Peak to Peak, and it's basically when you have your sight on the mountaintop and you reach there, what happens next? Obviously, now you can see a higher mountain, and so you'll keep going. But the present time is all that matters. What we do now is all that matters. Tomorrow doesn't really matter. The future really doesn't matter, other than to use it as a navigation.
Wow.
That is powerful. So the past is an experiment, and we are called to level up to our greatness now. Now, looking at the circumstances that we find ourselves in as a planet that is currently going through the coronavirus pandemic, a continent that we have uprising all over the place against race and discrimination. How can we level up?
How can we
level up?
With coronavirus?
Yes.
I believe we all needed a vacation. Before Corona, when I sold my trucking company, start my own office for a couple of years now, I was living my life and my business as if it was already coronavirus, because I was working from home. I could go to Guyana and work, go to Mexico and work. Tomorrow I'm going to Mexico for a week on a family vacation to get away, to get in the right mindset, because Corona did affect me a little bit. You know, when you hang around, I'm in New York City. It's quite compact. I want to physically free my mind a little bit. So I'm going to Mexico with my family, and then after that, it's full blast for me again. So, but COVID didn't affect me so much in terms of economy and job-wise, because I've created my own economy 2 years ago, full time, without a full-time job. But that didn't have 3-4 years before that. I had my company going and working full-time for other people because I needed that minimum survival amount. And I teach my clients how to transition, usually from full-time and then full-time and part-time, and then part-time and full-time, and then full-time on their own dreams.
Well, that is powerful. And one of the things that I really, Dr. Rivers said, or Sir Rivers said, that one of the things he learned from you was the level up. One of the things they learned from you is the collaboration.
Yes.
Tell us about the power of collaboration.
Yes. Well, you, sir, it was an honor to present to you with the Power of Collaboration Lifetime Achievement Award. And that's an award that Dr. River actually co-created with me. And it is for people that have done great things in the world through collaboration, collaborating with other people at a high level, not for personal gain, but for the greater good of humanity. And you are actually one of the recipients of that. And Dr. Rivers could tell us who were the other major recipients of that.
Let me tell you, the King of Toro, King Oyo, is a recipient, and the First Lady of the Republic of Burundi, Africa. Let me tell you this here. Raymond is one of the and here I've been to over 80 nations, work with world leaders, work with several entrepreneurs. Raymond Harlall is the cutting edge of the new. I'm telling you. So what's going to happen? You're going to watch a lot of the old stuff die off. because when a season's over and it hasn't produced the desired outcomes that people want, they're looking for something new. Raymond, I'm gonna ask you this question: how important is data today in a pandemic? Tell me. I have a friend of mine. He said data's king. So I inquired to him about in 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 a pandemic, what's important? Is it data? What's important?
Uh, well, data could never, even without the pandemic, we have Google, we have Wikipedia, and today we have Siri. If I say, "Hey Siri," and a question, she's ready to go. She's actually ready to go. So we don't need data. Artificial intelligence is here. They
Mm.
artificial intelligence don't have a human mind and loses memory over time. Uh,
Right.
so uh, data, just the process to combine the data and to do the research and to package it, that takes years. Bef- the the stock market will teach you that data does not matter because nobody can predict that changes and at an instant upon politics and geopolitics and weather and crisis.
Yep.
So data does nothing can predict the stock market. So data does not matter. That's all I can say. If data could tell you everything, it will tell you how the stocks are going to perform.
Oh, and watch this here. And what it does, what I've seen
Yes,
is
sir.
I've seen it puts people in a mindset of thinking they have it all. And then what happens when the paradigm fails them and it goes to a new level, they have nothing. They don't know what to do because they're basically institutionalized in data. And
Yes.
I'm saying, wait, God's mind is creating every day. And this is why you two are two of the greatest leaders coming up in the world today.
Thank you very
Intellectually,
much.
education is important. It is
Yes,
important
yes.
at some level, but I don't see many PhD earned professors being creators. I follow a guy named Bruce Lipton. He talks about the mind. He said he was a professor, I think, at Harvard or one of the Ivy League university. He says he was teaching medical students one thing in the class because that's what he get paid to do, and in his lab, in his research, he's actually seeing the opposite is true. So
Oh,
so not many professor does both. Most professors just teach what they got to teach.
yeah.
So he said this killed me for a while because he's teaching the status quo, and he know in his mind that the science is telling him something else, and so he spoke out about that, and for 20 years his colleagues fight him. Now 20 years after, he's the number one guy in that area because he was
Wow.
talking about it.
Wow. Wow. And then Patrick Businge is one of those professors that started a university greatness. So he's one of those out of the box guys, Dr.
Yes,
Businge.
yes, yeah,
Yes, and I think there, because what when you're asking, you're saying data no longer matters. Then my question was, what matters then? And that led me to reflecting on myself, what matters to me. And that in most cases, what matters is what is within me.
What is
And what
within me?
is within me, one of the things is the greatness within me, is a gift within me. And how I use that gift,
wow,
I manifest that greatness to create impact in my environment in the season I'm living in. Because some of the answers we have today might not answer tomorrow's questions.
yes,
Mm.
Therefore, data doesn't matter. The answers they had in the past cannot answer present day questions. And that's why I'm having some difficult understanding when, for example, people are going to the towns and protesting and vandalizing the monuments, for example, those were the answers at that time. So if you're vandalizing a monument, for example, of a great person at that time, then there's a problem because we don't situate ourselves in that same other moment, but we're trying to bring that person to a moment using data, which is already relevant, to make change the present. So in other words, if we're to make great impact now, we have to answer today's question based on the circumstances we find ourselves,
Yeah.
with the people we have, with the resources we have, and that requires collaboration. That requires working together, not
Yeah.
working against. So to move up from where we are in terms of protests and so on, there needs to be a collaborative and civil approach to the situation rather than to a violent and racist approach to resolve a global crisis.
Yes, collaboration is key. It's one of the best kept secret for success, I believe, because our school system is like they give you work to do. You have, as adults, you only specialize in one job. You become an accountant and you do accounting. You you become a doctor and you help people. You become a lawyer, and even in each special industry, like a doctor, there's one for gynecologist, there's one for pediatrician, and if you have that problem, oh no, I can't really help you with that. That's not my specialty. So even doctors, they say, hey, I can't help you with that. That's my colleague. And in school, they expect each student every year to ace 8 or 10 courses that are 8 or 10 different minds they want to put on each child. I believe COVID is great because I look at my nephew and he's on his bed in his PJ and he's in school. I said, wow, do you want to go back to real school when it opens? No. Why? Because I get to do, this is why. He said, I get to do which topic I want when. So giving them a freedom of choice and not saying, you have to do this one now. And he's phenomenal in math. He's coaching his other classmate in math right now at 12 years old. And so if he's already, he can now charge the other classmate money. He's successful. He can start a business from now making money. Wow. Why does he have to learn geology or something else? And so I believe we need to start allowing children the freedom, find their gift from an early age. And I think that's part of Greatness University. Find your gift from early and just develop that one gift. And Dr. Rivers, you taught me this, sir. You said every individual in the world have a God-given talent and gift. And if we, each of us have the answer for everybody else. So if we all did our God-given talent and our parents didn't say, okay, be a doctor or engineer, or it's the same story everywhere around the world, or an accountant, how's our world gonna survive? And eventually I get to understand that doctors and lawyers are actually not job description. They are business owners. That's what accountants are usually business owners. But our parents didn't understand that concept back in the days and tell you, hey, own your own business, start your own company. Because each doctor has a business. It's a clinic, a practice.
Yes.
Lawyers have a practice also. And why do they call it practice? Because it changes every day. Nobody ever teaches you that.
It's really good.
Brilliant discovery. It's a practice because it changes every day. I never thought about that way.
Their practice. Do you go to school 20, 30 years just to practice. Are you kidding me?
My God. My
Yeah.
God. What I tell you, Patrick, this is what I see happening in the world now is God's education is going to work. And that's why Greatness University, United Graduate College and Seminary, and actually Raymond's authority, nobody ever educates you about yourself. They
Yes,
always
sir.
educate you about other information. So I deal with more people as a world leader that don't know who they are. They have great titles, and eventually, when the title leaves, if you don't know who you are, you drowned.
Yes.
Mhm.
So what I love about our life education, the authority, is we're teaching people who they are. And
Yes.
who you are will live through a pandemic. It'll live through a crisis. Who you are. So Raymond, if you don't mind telling us a bit about your book Authority. This guy, one of the first books I picked up, one of his books on authority.
June.
My friend, can you please elaborate on that masterpiece of a book?
It's very simple to read, first of all. And Doc, it was 1 year and 2 weeks ago. What it was June 1st. That book was launched, and we were both in Atlanta, Georgia, and I launched the handbook to becoming the authority. And in it, I covered 33 principles to go pro as an author, speaker, and mentor. And it is to go pro. If this is what you want to do for a living, you want to be a professional author, speaker, and mentor. Uh, Everybody can do any bit of that, and and, and you may hit the jackpot and it'll work for you. But I believe that there's a system to go pro as an authority. And in the word authority is the word author. The first bit of it is the word author. So on the book cover, I wrote author in caps, ITY in small. And so it's a handbook to becoming an authority. It's all based on writing a book and packaging and promoting, positioning, packaging, and promoting what you know. And in that book, and here I'll put the whole conversation together, the question and the answers. When it's time to become an authority, it's about three things. Just three things, three simple things. Here's the magic formula. It's about it's not the foundation, the basis, what you know. You must know something. Whatever job you do, if you're a garbage collector, if you're a janitor, if you're a painter, electrician, a plumber, a landscaper, an engineer, a pilot, whatever you do, and you've been doing it for a while, and we know most profession, if you graduate as a doctor, they don't send you to go in the hospital and work by yourself. No, you have to do a residency or
Mm,
internship, so to speak. Other doctors have to check you out, make sure
yeah.
you're doing. They always have to sign off on you, and they have to trust you. If not, they get in trouble if you screw up. So it's always about what you know. So knowledge alone, knowledge and applied knowledge, as Dr. River teaches, it's not just data. It's action. It's data and research in action, and present day, not just collective knowledge over time.
Mm.
So it's about what you know. And if you just go and Google stuff and write it up, it's not you. It's not authentic. It's a little bit of your story in there. And as you share your content, well, I'll go through the three, and I can go into a little bit into each part. It's what you know. Then the next level is who you know, because you can know everything in the world and don't collaborate, don't have a circle of influence,
Mm.
don't have mentorship, don't have a club, don't attend events, and, and so you're irrelevant. You can know the world of things and nobody know you in a basement somewhere, so to speak. It's a metaphor, or or have a book and it's in a garage, but it's not endorsed by anyone. It's not promoted by anyone. So then you're not really the greatest. You're not going to have true success. Uh, what you know, your knowledge and skill, who you know, your colleague, friends, association, mentors, clients. And the third bit is Second is who you know. Remember who you know. And the third is flip the script. Who know you? You're only going to be successful when people know who you are, when people know your name. When you step on a stage and they all know your story already, but they're there to just hear you say it, like the legendary Les Brown. He can tell, he's been telling the same story all the time, and I and others go just be in that room just to hear him say the story. And that's so it's just about legacy at that point, because it's about who know you. So when you have that combination of what you know and the skills to go with it and your story that actually bring that expertise to life. And if you don't tie it in with your story, you're boring. Nobody wants to hear it. So your story has to be in there. And the story, I help my clients write their story with 3 S's, and start with a startling fact. Tell me something amazing. COVID is the hot buzz right now. COVID or riots. Great. If we start with that, people are going to want to listen. Especially if we bring a different perspective to it, not what the media is running all the time. And if you can go have a different perspective than the media, you're going to blow up, because everybody want to hear that, not what the media is saying. So, startling fact, your story of struggle, what you have gone through as a person in your life, that eventually mold you to and make you to become the authority. As I was telling my story, I said I went after the money as a young entrepreneur, and I almost died driving my truck. And so I said, hey, life is not about wealth alone, but my health comes first. And if I died, what matter? It doesn't matter about the life insurance, money in the bank, the company. Because at that time I was 29 years old, and I know we're not in church, so I can use this example. I think to myself as a young married man, say, hey, if I die right now, hustling here 2 a.m. on this Ohio interstate out of my country from Canada on the middle of nowhere, my wife will have a pretty big lump sum of money. She's a young lady. Obviously, she's going to, in a few years, she's going to have to remarry, and that guy is going to be set. He wouldn't have to work. So I said, this system that I'm doing is not practical. It's not practical. So I said, from a masculine point of view, said, hey, this is not going to serve you. Figure out a way that you can stay healthy and also make a lot of money.
Very good.
Wow, that is powerful. So, as you said, the book makes you an authority.
Yes, sir.
Because, like, when I do remember my story, when I didn't have any book, no one knew me. But now I have books.
You have a library of books.
People don't know, they know me.
Professor, you have a library of books.
And you put them out in days. Brilliant. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me, people. These 2 men here will be on the forefront of the global transformation of the world. These 2 men, I work all over the world. I work with presidents, first ladies, ambassadors, entrepreneurs. These 2 brains right here are 2 of the most brilliant minds in the world. I'm telling you, in the world. And one thing I want to say is they have a heart for humanity, not just a heart for dollars. What I love most about them is they do work to empower people. They don't just think about their pockets. They think about your pockets, because if you don't have stuff in your pockets, you're coming to take from their pockets. So
Yes,
these
sir.
are 2 men. These are 2 men that are world leaders. And you heard it first from me, the world stability leader. These 2 men, there's nothing in the world like these 2 here.
How does that happen? You are my mentor. I'm proud to say you are my mentor.
And that's because of you. Always great people create great people. They live. You're creating us to be greater than you. Isn't that amazing? Because there are some people out there, they will be helping you, but they think you're competing with them, and they don't really push you to the limits of your greatness.
Wow.
Well, you do it differently. Your vision is to equip us, be world leaders who are going to be greater than you. And that's how you create a legacy.
Let me tell you, if I did life over again, I would give everybody I'm assigned to my best,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a principle in that. When you give your best, God gives you back more.
Wow.
Wow.
I've learned to give your best to whoever you serve, and God will make sure, because whatever you give out, He has to replenish back. So we are building, and hear this, guys. I'm not just saying that because you two are here. I say that when you're not around. I say, Raymond, ladies and gentlemen, you have no idea who Raymond Harlall is. You have no idea. Patrick Businge, that guy's head, his head, both of their heads are different. Everybody has a head, but nobody has them like you guys. Your brains, you guys think at a level that is just, and I want to say more than think. You guys know how to plug in. There
Yes.
isn't a shortage of ideas in the world. There's a
Yes.
shortage of how to plug the idea in to make it work revenue for you. You two,
Implementation.
go ahead, Raymond. I'm sorry.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead, Raymond.
Implementation. I just add one word. Implement. Yeah, we know how to implement.
You implement, but and when you implement, everyone's better. Everyone that you work with is better. Everyone, man, every and guys, I've witnessed. I hold my work dear to my heart. Nobody gets real close to me. No one, except for people that I've watched. And you two are close to my heart
Yes, sir.
because I watch how you manage. I watch how you manage people currency more than your dollar amounts.
Hmm.
When you handle people right, you will always have in this life because God will see to it. Let me give you one nugget.
Yes, sir.
Never forget this. When your work looks like Jesus' work, He will always make sure you have.
Wow.
When your work looks like His work, packaged in business, packaged in life, you're actually furthering His seed.
Hmm.
So when you create a business that looks to like your million tree business, Dr. Law, to empower people of Guyana, one
Yes, sir.
million trees, a million trees, and if you make $1 back a year, what have you made?
Oh,
And
only
what have
one
they
million
made?
dollars.
A million. Are you seeing what I'm saying? So this is a heart that goes into business, not just dollars and cents. Though that comes, but the mind to empower other people with what you're doing will keep you alive forever. And watch this, people. It doesn't have a shelf life because when you keep passing God's seed on, it keeps growing. So it doesn't have an expiration date.
Yes, sir. We have some amazing fellow ambassador, Christine Kutzevek watching, Donald Tolson watching, and we're doing
Yeah.
a book with him, World Civility book, great guy. Elizabeth is watching, Roland is watching.
Robert Lyons, yeah, all these great guys.
Phenomenal people.
Hey guys, I
Yes.
got to go to a different show, but I
Yes,
wanted
sir.
to be on with you. So Patrick, thank you. Finish up strong, Raymond. Let's change the world, guys.
I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. So, Dr. Harlall, tell us about the Presidential Club. You slightly mentioned about it and how that helps people to level up.
Yeah. So, World Civility Presidential Club. It's a club for ambassadors and people of similar mind in giving back. Everybody wants to say, I'm a humanitarian or I want to start a charity. Uh, but really, we want to get under your skin to actually get. Some people said, Raymond, I want to be a part of this club because it'll make me look good.
Mhm.
Honestly, I said, no, I'm sorry, you can't be. It's not the purpose. You're going to make yourself look bad and you're going to make our entire organization look bad. Because we work at a diplomatic level with this club. As we go into countries, And Dr. Rivers mentioned about my 1 million coconut tree initiative for my home country of Guyana. When I went to the government, the Ministry of Agriculture, the University of Guyana, the different organizations, the Chamber of Commerce, the investors, the banks, the professors, the students, for every bit of stakeholders, I had to make a different proposal. And it's about three things. Well, I had to change one part of it. For every proposal, I had to say, hey, what's in it for Raymond, our company, my organization? What's in it for you? And what's in it for the people of Guyana?
Mm-hmm.
So unless you go into a meeting and you show people, hey, I can help you achieve this. Of course, I'm going to benefit, and it's on paper, and it's a memorandum of understanding. And together we collaborate. And these guys, usually the poor farmers, are the direct benefactors, because sometimes they don't have the means, they don't have the connection, they don't have the knowledge, the business sense. So it takes quite a bit to say, hey, and the more I get exposed, is the more awards your organization has graced me with the world the
Create of greatness.
Creator of Greatness Award in London, UK, January this year, right? Or
Yes,
February.
yes.
Yeah, I've added my dates because I've been around the globe already before COVID shut everything down, and I'm ready to travel again. And so I was saying, it's about collaborating and thinking what's in everybody's best interest. I don't run up in there and say, hey, I want to make $1 million next year. No, it will take me 10 to 20 years, and I will guarantee 1 million American dollars a year. And that is one. Okay, you can say, Raymond, you want to get really rich. No, the plan of the revenue, it's 1%. My vision is so big, so realistic, and started to implement it, that 1% of the revenue will make me a millionaire forever. While we empower thousands of families, we raise the GDP of a country, economy, and you give people jobs, and raise the export import. Most importantly, planting trees is good for the environment. And and if I plant a 1 million tree in Guyana, in South America, it'll actually help people in the whole globe, because if somebody pollute anywhere in the world, it affects everybody in the world. And if somebody is out there planting trees to remove toxic carbon dioxide from the air, then it's going to be a benefit for everyone also.
That is brilliant. Really, we're coming to the end, actually, our viewers. We're coming to the end of this show. But one of the things I've learned from Raymond is a person who gives his time, a person who gives his skills, as he said. And it's not about how much he gets out of it, by giving wholeheartedly to change lives. So it's been a great pleasure meeting you. But that brings me to the moment I first met you. Not really physically, but in a way, it was meant to be in Uganda. And the journey to Uganda, the journey to Toro. And some of these journeys are the journeys that you make, that you meet people that change your lives. And in a way, that journey changes your life. Could you tell us about your experience, your royal experience in Toro?
Professor Patrick, I got goosebumps just remembering that about a year ago, when you and your partners in Uganda are actually the founder of Royal Tours. Did I say right?
Yeah. Yes.
I don't get the name right, but the experience are phenomenal. We go into Uganda, we're picked up from the airport, brought to the hotel, taken care of, then we get to go to the kingdom of Toro, the beautiful kingdom where your wife, Dr. Jillian, is from, and able to go to the palace as guests of his Royal Highness King Oyo. And it was just a phenomenal experience. Not only that, it was his coronation. And I'm so sorry because I grew up in a part of the world where we have no royalties in the Western Hemisphere, nowhere. So I said, that I'm aware of, I said, I don't know what a coronation is. And we're there for days, and it's King Oyo is the youngest king ever. He became king at 3 years old. He's been in his reigning monarch for 25 years, and he's just 27 or 28 years old now. And so that experience was phenomenal. I had the privilege to give him also the same award you received, the Power of Collaboration Lifetime Achievement Award, because he's doing so much amazing things for the subjects, the people that live in this kingdom. I think there's some 3 million people live there.
Yes, yes. That was powerful because some people said it was like being in a Wakanda movie.
It is phenomenal. If you think Black Panther is cool and amazing, you need to see how the coronation goes on of a real kingdom. It's not costume, is real customary clothing. It's just a phenomenal experience.
And that's very powerful. And that's the moment that united us. That's the moment we got to know each other. And that is great, as you said. It's not about when you're creating your authority. It's not about the people you know, but the people who know you.
Yes.
That change your life. The people you know you that help you to level up in life. So
Yes.
how can our viewers know you? How can you connect with them?
Oh, I'm on social media. If you Google my name, Raymond Harlall, Professor Patrick, have it up there on the screen. You will find my Facebook, my YouTube, my Instagram. Facebook is one of the primary places, and of course, this is streaming live on Facebook. Facebook is a primary place you can connect with me, and I can help you get packaged, positioned, and promoted to be number one in your area of expertise. Because hey, the world needs you now. And Professor, there's a fear. There's two reasons to stop people from being number one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's silly. They're actually opposites, but they're equally dangerous. And one is the fear of failure. They won't do it because they fear that they didn't even do it, nothing yet, right? They are potential energy. They could potentially do it. They have not taken any action. They probably think about it every day. They probably write it down, put it on a vision board, but they never take a first step. And what keeps them back is fear of failure. And it can be from yourself, from your family, from your circle of influence. Second is the fear of success. The fear of success kills a lot of people.
They say people fear to be successful.
Yes, sir. Because I'm a publisher, you are too. We help people write their books. Most people want to write a book their whole life. I said, okay, great. How soon you want to get it done? Because we can get it done in a matter of a month. Oh my God, I don't think I'm ready. That might be too quick. Didn't you just say, I just asked you, how long now did you want to write a book? and so, okay, great. What's come? Oh, a year. And then procrastination. And then I said, you know what? Why don't you? I tell clients this. I fire clients. I will give everything if that person is actually putting in the effort, the energy, and actually is passionate to achieve that goal. From the time I realize that person is actually does not even believe in themselves, I can't help no matter how much money you bring, because it will take too much energy out of me and pull me down to where you are. And I don't want that. I don't want that. If I'm trailblazing, I'm doing well financially, doing well, changing the world. One negative person in my life will affect my entire circle. So I would say, hey, this is not, I'm not the person for you. Because the fear of failure stops a lot of people because they get scared. And because why? They may want to write a book, but when they look around, they're oh my God, what is my cousins gonna say about me about writing a book? They know that I don't know nothing much, or they think that I didn't complete school, or they think I'm crazy. If I write this book, they're gonna tell people that I'm stupid, and that's the fear of failure that happens. The fear of success, because they're like, what will my close people think of me? That's why they don't want to be successful. Because of course, as you become number one in the world in your area of expertise, you're it. There's nobody next to you, in front of you, behind you. You are on a whole different level all by yourself. And you got to lead. You got to keep trailblazing and lead. And if you really want to do that, of course you'll help them do that. If they know me, I can help them do that. They know Dr. Rivers, he can help them do. We all collaborate and do things together. Anyway, you come in the circle, we will help you do that, because in our circle of number ones, all of our colleagues and partners around the world are number ones. So if you qualify, that's why we want to make sure you're the right fit. We know we can, everybody has within them to be the potential to be number one. If they're passionate, you don't have to worry about the how and the when. But the one thing I and you and no mentor in the world cannot teach is the why. Unless you have the why, the driving force, the desire, the vision, the mission, the ambition, no one can help you. If you do have those, you can be helped. But finding the right mentor is very important also. There's mentors out there that don't want you to be number one. They actually want you to be number one under them, who is the number one in the world. That's why I love and honor and treasure Sir Ambassador Dr. Professor Clyde Rivers, because he is such a trailblazer, such a number one. And he told me, Raymond, God told me that I must help work with people and push them farther than I have gone. That's my job, is to push them farther. And he's a guy that talks about, and you can hear his question about how do you know when to pass it over, pass the torch. And he always do. He knows 20, 50, 100 people going farther than where they were before meeting him is going to put on his legacy. And he's not a guy of ego. He can care less about the stage. He comes on to endorse and to empower and to give energy to his friends, his colleagues, his clients. And that's why I love working with him, Professor Patrick.
That is beautiful. And what some people don't realize is that each one of us, we are great in our own gifting.
Yes, sir.
Each one of us, we are great in our own lane. Think about highway, think about motorway, there are different lanes. So each one of us, we are great in our own lanes on the street, trying to see who is that person who's going to help me reach my destination, and how can they do it. And importantly, as we end this show, if you want to level up in life, level up to your greatness, we have been great and grateful to know and being known by Dr. Raymond Harlall, the creator of greatness. So get in touch with him and he will help you level up your greatness.
Professor, before we close, can you talk about this was in January, you host an amazing event in Luton at the Luton Hotel, where the Queen of England went on her honeymoon, and Winston Churchill gave his famous speech on the grounds of that hotel in Luton, just north of London, about an hour. Can you tell us about your August event?
Yes, so what we do at Greatness University, we help people discover their greatness, develop their greatness, deliver their greatness, sustain their greatness, and celebrate their greatness. So every year, once or twice in a year, we have the World Greatness Awards.
Yes, sir.
And during these awards, we honor people for living their greatness. So Dr. Raymond Harlall was honored in January as a creator of greatness, someone who has created greatness and created people who help people to become great. And that comes with an award, but important, it as well comes with the induction
Yes,
into
sir.
the World
Great.
Book of Greatness.
Yes.
So this is the Guinness Book of Records for greatness.
Yes.
So once you get award, your entry is put into the World Book of Greatness.
It's,
So we are organizing the World Book of organizing the World Greatness Awards on the 15th of August this year at the Luton Hall in London, where we'll be celebrating greatness from all over the world.
and
So,
Professor,
yes,
you had people there come from around the globe. I think over 20 different nations.
yes. And this time it's meant to be bigger. We are thinking about 50 different nations. Of course, COVID, the coronavirus has changed the dynamics, and we're still monitoring the situation serious globally to see how we can offer an effective and a great world greatness celebration in the heart of the United Kingdom.
Wow.
If you want to know more, get in touch and then we will.
That's
Otherwise, you can take on worldgreatnessawards.com and then you get more information about this amazing celebration of greatness.
wow.
Yes.
Godfrey Henry says, truly phenomenal insight. Thank you, gentlemen, for the inspiration. Elizabeth's like, she can't wait to be there. And Dr. Chris Perry, it was a world-class event. Of course, it was an honor meeting you there, Ambassador Chris Perry, in person. Great, phenomenal environment. The people there are all world leaders.
Oh, yes, it's amazing. The place itself is it's like a little heaven on earth.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that property will look like in the summer. That was winter time.
Oh, beautiful.
There.
Yes. So thank you so much for your time, and it's been a great pleasure. And thank you very much to all our viewers this morning, this afternoon, this evening, or this night, wherever you are. Thank you for spending your time with us and being here to celebrate with us greatness. Being Dr. Patrick Businge from Greatness TV, presenting great lives and focusing on the great life of Dr. Raymond Harlall, the creator of greatness from Canada and Guyana. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, viewers. Be sure to like, comment, and share this video. I appreciate you, Professor.
Thank you.